but I forget what I was saying before that. Oh yeah, my show, I was trying to do the Oprah thing, and I needed to fund the show. And I had to get my own sponsors. So who do you go to? Well, people in real estate have money. So I went to a guy who was a mortgage broker, but also a real estate investor, and he was my show sponsor. Being in the media, being a journalist also, I knew how to research as well. And so the only way I knew how to make this show of mine interesting to my sponsor, I didn't know enough about real estate, although I had just created a fourplex out of this house. I needed to do segments on the show that were interesting and human interest. And so I started interviewing millionaires. I thought, well, this will be interesting. I will interview millionaires, people who started with nothing, find out how they did it. And many of the people I interviewed on my show were younger than me, a lot younger than me, and were retired.
Oh my goodness.
And I was really drawn to that. Now, right about the same time, I mentioned it in the car right here, my husband, who had been the breadwinner for our family, he's an author, a speaker, he wrote a book called Extreme Success. You may have seen it. His name's Rich Becky. He's been all over the news, and his book has been very successful. At the time, he went to the doctor. Now, this is a guy who is known. His book is called Extreme Success because he's an extreme athlete. He's been on the X Games, and he's the first to bungee jump off Half Dome, and stuff like that. He saw a little freckle on his forehead, went to the doctor, found out it was melanoma. They did some more tests. It looked like it had spread to his liver. And the doctor had the nerve to say that, enjoy your last 6 months. So it was at that time that I thought, okay, he needs to rest. I need to take over the money. He needs to get healthy, and I'm going to put all the stuff I've learned into action, and we're going to be full-time investors. And with that equity that we had earned in our house, or not earned, just fell upon, we were able to reposition that into cash flowing properties all over the country. So I'm a big out-of-state investor as well, because when you're wanting and needing the income, you can buy, in the Bay Area, at least at the time, a $400,000 rental that would bring in around $1,200 rent. Or you could go to Dallas, Texas, and buy 4 properties that all bring in $1,200 in rent for the same price. So now, your income, what do you want? $5,000 a month or $1,200 a month? It's that simple. And everybody would say, well, nothing's happening in Texas. Well, that's really good these days. Nothing happening is a really good thing, because that means prices didn't go down either. They don't go up, they don't go down, they just go steady. So linear markets are a great place for stability and for income. And if you're taking that comparison, $5,000 a month versus $1,200 a month, that's all at $40,000 a year. Is your property doing that? Is your property increasing? And not today. Maybe back 4 or 5 years ago, but that's not going to happen again for a really long time. So cash flow is solid. It's something you can count on if you buy right, and that's what we did. So since then, my husband's he's fine now. It turns out they diagnosed it wrong. It was nothing to be worried about, and he's healthy and fine. What that did for us is taught us how to invest properly and how to enjoy passive income. And so since then, we have a group called Real Wealth Network. It's a resource for investors, much like Linda's. All of my podcasts are uploaded there. I still interview wealthy people and creative investors, and have created Real Wealth Network to be a place where investors can come and learn from each other, and not have to pay $20,000 for an audio program that maybe isn't teaching you what you really need to know, or maybe is dated information. Today's real estate market changes every day, and you can't be learning something that worked a couple of years ago because it's not going to work today. It's constantly changing, and that's what we do on our podcast, is keep up with that by interviewing people all over the country, now all over the world, who are really successful. So,
is that actually a website that we can go to?
RealWealthNetwork.com, or
Maybe
Real Wealth
take a quick
Show.
look, pull that up.
Yeah. So I just got back from Australia, where I met with 300 investors, and a few months ago, 1,000 investors who are just thrilled to be buying U.S. property because their dollar's so strong. They're buying through us because we are also a referral organization. Like Linda, we've got affiliates all over the country that are buying direct from banks, buying from auctions. And the most exciting thing we're doing right now that just, again, it just wasn't available before. The market changes so quickly. We are syndicating, which means that we're pooling funds to buy the big stuff. I've been a single family addict. You know, I love single family because I didn't think the money was really in the commercial arena. I knew that that was going to be collapsing. But now there are deals in the $1 million to $10 million arena that just are sitting there because there's not a market for it. Is it working?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, there's there's a lot of competition for the affordable deals. People are bidding those up, and it's like at the auctions. I mean, if you don't have an in, if you don't have someone who has a special personal relationship with the REO broker or the bank or the right, you're not going to get the deal. There's a lot of competition, but when you get to the $1 million mark, to the 10 million, the average investor can't afford that, and the hedge funds and the larger funds aren't interested in anything usually under 10 million. So we've lately been pooling funds and syndicating projects that are just, thank you, just unbelievably exciting. Like just recently we bought 27 townhomes on the waterfront in, I don't know if I've got it up on the site anymore, there might be a blog on it. Yeah, I've got a blog over here. All the shows are here on radio, you can listen to or go to iTunes, and they're full of information. The blog is too, and I think maybe I can type, I don't know if this works yet, this search feature, let's see. Portland, maybe. I think it should work. Okay, what do you know? I think this will show a picture of, yeah. So we bought 27 of these waterfront townhomes that were just a beautiful project there by the Fremont Bridge. They're gorgeous. They're townhomes downtown in the Pearl District. Very pricey, good real estate. Nothing wrong with the project, but the developer, and this is happening all across the country, the developer's construction loan just stopped. His bank failed twice. He had two banks, and twice the bank failed, got taken over by the FDIC, and he's 70% through his project and has no money to finish it. Can't go get it, no banks will lend. It's crazy out there. Nothing wrong with the developer, nothing wrong with the project, everything wrong with the financing. The FDIC said you pay this money, and his note, the remaining note was $12.8 million. He didn't have it in his pocket. So the FDIC said, if you don't pay this, it's going into foreclosure. So the group that I'm with said, I work with partners that do this kind of thing. They offered $8 million about 6 months ago. The FDIC turned it down. Then went back a couple months ago and offered $3 million, and we got it. Oh my God.
Amazing. That's a deal.
All we have to do is the interior, just the floors, and it's incredible.
What I'm noticing is there's a lot of developers like that are running into the financial problems.
That's right.
And before it actually forecloses, they're scrambling looking for more money. In the meantime, guess what? They're not paying the taxes on the property. Those tax liens are going like hotcakes because they're out there, and then all of a sudden they're gone because the money does come back in one way or another. They get redeemed, and then you get your money back. So there's a lot of that going on.
It's unbelievable, the opportunities out there. And stuff like this, I don't have $3 million in my pocket either, but when investors come together, we can do it together. And what's great is the man who brought me this project is well, let's just say when we flew to Portland, he said, darn, next time I'm taking my private jet. I don't like this. He's never worked with someone like me. He walks into banks and gets money, and he can't today. And so when he came to me for the money, I said, well, he was going to give our investors an 8% return. I'm like, and I can add this up. There is $4 million profit here, okay? And you're going to give the investors 8%? No. So the way we structured it, because they're just not used to having to give up their money. And no, they're going to have to pay for their money these days, and that's us. If we've got, you can self-direct your IRA, and you can demand a lot of money. So I said we want a 15%